Okay, I was asked to do a video to show some ways to do some research without having like a paid subscription to something like Merch Informer. So here are some ways that you can do research, and specifically the person asked about PopSocket. So the three places I would start with are going to be Answer the Public and Ubersuggest, and then of course Amazon. So I'll show you how I use each one. So when you come into Answer the Public, usually you just start a new search and you can type in PopSocket. And it takes just a moment to pull this information up, but it gives it to you in different formats. So the first one, it gives it to you in like questions that people are searching online. In this case, that doesn't look like that's really something that's going to give us much information. So now this one is giving us the information a little bit differently with prepositions. So I'm seeing PopSocket with name, PopSocket with quotes, PopSocket with your initials, PopSocket letter M, letter A, letter K. So what I then start to do is start to make note of some of these things. So I just open a Word document and I've got name, initials, M, A, K, quotes. I'm going to look over here to see if there's anything. PopSocket Canada flag. Looks like there's quite a few that are looking for Canadian stuff there, like with the flag. Another with initials, another MAK. So MA and K must be really popular names that, or initials that either first or last names start with. Looking through here, see if there's anything. Okay, so I've got girls, men, boys. I'm going to make notes of those. Here, in this case, I'm not going to need these, but this could be helpful if you are doing some phrase research. You could look at this and say, okay, you know, if you're searching, one of the things I like to give an example of is the word knitting, and you're trying to learn more about the knitting niche. When you search that here, what happens is you start to see knitting versus crochet and things like that. So it looks like there's kind of like a I don't know, like a debate about which is better. So that could be, you know, ideas for shirts. So in this case, down here, this is where a lot of people like to just start. I do take a look at these up here, but really probably the most helpful information is going to come down here. And what they've done is they've taken the most popular searches and they've turned them into alphabeticals. So they've taken the PopSocket, and then if there's a letter A after that, so here's avocado. I'm looking for, so black is another one, blue. There's baseball, basketball. daisy, elephant, and you get the point. I mean, there's a lot here, so you can just make some notes of any that look, like it would be something that you could put onto a pop socket that's not going to be, some of these we can't do. Obviously, it's infringing. You can't make a Jeep pop socket. Okay, jet black crystal, life proof, leather. There's llama. Llamas are very popular. You can't make a Kate Spade, Here's mermaid. I'm just looking to see mainly colors, pink, purple. So in my experience, people tend to use pop sockets as accessories, it seems like. So here's another one, red. And they seem to match it to purses and shoes and different things like that. At least women do. You can get an idea for the popular colors by doing some of these searches. Another thing that I often will do is I'll go out to some of the designer handbag sites and look at some of the colors that they're putting, like this pink right here, that red color. I'll be looking for what colors they're using. Thank you. It looks like that Pepto color is popular. Here's a yellow. So a lot of times they're ahead of the trends, some of the designer handbags. So you can come here. You can even look at some of the patterns they're using, and you could create pop sockets based on those types of patterns. So let's just go to handbags for a moment. And let's say I wanted to try to capture this color of pink. What I will do is I will use this thing called the Eyedropper. It's a Chrome extension, and it allows you to pick a color from the page. So you can either pick, you just highlight over, and you can see that my little box, you can kind of see it really well here. My little box that's right next to my arrow is showing a red square. And then down here in the corner, you'll see this change as I click on different things. So if I wanted to try to match this pink color, I would just click on that, and it's going to give me a color code that I can then use. So I'm going to put that next to the word pink. Okay. And then I can copy that when I go to create my background for my pop socket. So that looks like some of the populars. It looks like neutrals are really popular right now. This slate blue might be another color to try to copy. Looks like the cheetah kind of patterns. Another one that you might want to check is like Coach, possibly. Take a look at what colors they're using, especially if you see those colors that were being searched. So here's another pink kind of color that's like a mauve. So I might go in here and try to capture this color as well. Okay, that one's like a rosy brown. And you can even copy the name of it as well and then call it that and pink. So I'm going to call this one rosy brown. And it's really hard to see there, but let's just make these a little bit larger. Okay, so now I've got my color codes that I can use. I've got the secondary name. I should have captured whatever that first one was, because someone might actually search, and this also says rose/light gold. So I might include that as well in the color description. So you want to be careful about using the word rose gold because it's not, there's a lot of debate. I've seen some people say that they got notices for using that kind of color and that they had their things taken down. So you might want to just be careful about using that, but you could say that it's a rose color, you know, rosy brown, that kind of thing. Here's another color. I kind of saw this same one that was on the Kate Spade site. So this might be another one to try to capture. This one's kind of like that one's called dark sea green. So again, you're going to just copy that color. I don't have a green here, but I can just throw it in. Okay, so now that I've got some, you know, some color ideas, the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. So this is called Ubersuggest. And if you just type that in and click on it, you can put a keyword in here. So I'll just use the general term PopSocket. It says there's a lot of searches per month. It gives you kind of the top searches, but what I'm looking for is more detailed information. I want to look for anything that confirms what I saw on the other site. So here's another one for boy. So I may make a little note next to that I've seen that a couple of times. Here's unicorn. So that one is new. Another one that says rose gold, black again, boys again, gold, galaxy, pink. So, you know, so we've got a few pink colors we could kind of use. Glitter, you want to stay away from that because even if it looks like glitter on your screen, when it prints, it's not going to print looking like glitter at all. And the customer's not going to be happy with that. Here's one that says flower, turtle. Okay, so we've got quite a few ideas and you can kind of continue down through. Here's heart. I just happened to see that one. So let's make a note of that because that's pretty easy to do. Okay, then the last thing I do is I'm going to come over here to Amazon and see what it says. So I'm going to use a couple of different things here. So the first extension that you'll want to make sure you have is called AMZ Seller Browser. Looks like that. The other one that you want to make sure you have is, it's an expander. I think it's this one, the AMZ Suggestion Expander. So I use this one constantly. Okay, so what that one does is if you start to type in a word like PopSocket, it's going to give you some of the most popular searches. Okay, so we're seeing black and rose gold again. You might even just be able to use the word rose and leave out the word gold. Here we're seeing white, marble, what else? Gold again, marble again. Okay, here's some stuff. Guys, girls, boys. So it looks like people really do search based on those words. Okay, here we go. We have A, J, heart, and L. So where were we? So we had A. So now we've got A again. We've got two of those. And I've got 2 of those, and I've got like a lot of these boy things. So, okay, let's drop this back down again. Or, well, we can just click on it this time. So when I do my PopSocket search, we could even start to narrow it down. So I might want to see how many are in some of these categories. So I'm seeing the initial ones. Let's go back up actually. Letter A, heart, letter J. Okay, so let's pick PopSocket letter A. Let's see how many there are. Okay, so there are a ton of letter A's. Let's check a different one. Let's do M and see how many we've got. Okay, so we're getting lower actually. Those were 2 of the most popular. Now, what if we combine? And this is where I start to go a lot of times, is I take several things from my list and start combining them. So we saw the word heart, I believe. Yep, we had heart, we had flower, we had unicorn. So what if we did a combination? So let's say M, heart. Okay, so here's a perfect one that I would target. Only 72 results. And you could even add the word maybe pink to that and see what we get. So M, heart, and pink, that would be a perfect one. I'm sure after this video goes live, there'll probably be a ton of people that create some. But if you're one of the first, you might have a very good chance of getting seen here. So, and all I've done is just taken, okay, I've seen that the letter M is being searched multiple times. We've seen pink as a very popular search term a couple of different times. We've saw heart. So I'm just taking and combining those things to niche down. So if someone is searching any of those 3 terms, or if they're searching any of them together, they're going to get to my my design. And in this case, this one's really going to be for a girl or a woman, but you're going to want to make sure you include the word girl, girls, and put them in sentences. You'll also want to include the word initial, name. So the way I would write it would be something like, this rose pink initial PopSocket is perfect for girls and women whose name starts with the letter, whose first or last name starts with the letter M. What else am I going to include? I'm going to also try to get the word maybe rosy in there. The word heart, if it has a heart in it. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You could also use the word sort of customized and personalized. So you'll see those terms a lot with regard to PopSocket. So you could say that, because it is, having the letter M on it is personalizing the PopSocket. So initial personalized rose pink. So you just want to work some of those words in there. Let's check avocado, because that's another thing that you could do. So let's say how many avocado pop sockets do we have? Only 126. And it doesn't even really look like some of those are avocado pop sockets. So the one extension I have here, the Amazon Seller Browser, that's going to show you which pop sockets are actually selling. So you can see these simple pop sockets with just a few avocados on them are all selling. Every single one of them pretty much. So you could even combine letters with avocado. So you could say avocado and letter M. I'm guessing there's not going to be any. Oh, see, okay, there's one. Doesn't look like this one's sold yet, but that's an idea. You can combine those things. So I hope this was helpful. This just kind of gives you an idea of how I do research for pop sockets. I don't do research often, but a lot of times I just have an idea and just start creating one. For me, a lot of the letter and the patterned pop sockets sell very well, and I can see why. This is what people are looking for, it looks like. So again, hope this helps. Oh, here's another good one, zodiac signs. So just happened to see that. Again, like I said, hope this helps. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.